And good morning, everybody. I'm Lisa Hernandez.
And I'm Russ Lewis. It's Tuesday. It's February 20th, just before 5 o'clock here. And this morning, it finally feels like Houston.
Yes.
Doesn't it? Cheetah, it is humid out there.
Yeah, dew points are high this morning, and you can see it in the cloud cover. You can also kind of see it in the lens. You know, the lens is going back and forth. That's because winds are so strong this morning. But you can clearly see the buildings here. So your morning commute, it's going to be breezy. You're going to need to hold on to that steering wheel. But we are dry this morning. I'm not expecting really scattered showers to kick up until this afternoon. The main complex, the center of the complex, pushing through Dallas right now, Sherman area just to our north. That will remain to our north. We have a cold front that will start to approach overnight and into tomorrow, and that will be responsible for producing heavier rainfall for your Wednesday and Thursday. I'll have more details on that coming up. Your quick day part planner, 60s and 70s this morning, upper 70s by your lunchtime hour. High temperatures go to 80. So Darby, 80 degrees, crank the air conditioning, and winds. Hold on to that steering wheel.
Yeah, definitely want to do that. Thank you, Cheetah. All right, out the door. Here's what you need to know. Looking to the south side, quiet for the most part, but then this just popped up on I-45, the Gulf Freeway's outbound side, heading southbound at Telephone Road. Looks like we have some sort of accident here. So this is the outbound side. You can see the car in the HOV lane heading in towards town. So the inbound side's over here. This is the outbound side. I see a couple of right lanes blocked off. Emergency vehicles are just rolling up here, trying to figure out what's going on. Some kind of accident. It's on the outbound side. Traffic will probably be maybe a little slow in the area. Coming inbound, you won't be affected by this, at least not at this point. 23 minutes League City Parkway to downtown. Highway 288 is quiet at 16 minutes. Highway 6 into downtown. And if you travel the Fort Bend Toll Road, quiet as well. Just 8 minutes from Highway 6 all the way to South Main.
Gotcha. Darby, thank you.
It's 1 minute after noon overnight. A bunch of parents out in Katy have reached out to us here at KHOU. They're worried about a potential threat at their school.
An email went home late last night from Taylor High School, and we want to be very clear. Police have said they found no credible threat, but it is a sign of how these things can spread like wildfire on social media, especially in the climate we're in right now.
Janelle Ford is joining us now. She is at Taylor High School out in Katy with more on exactly what happened. Janelle?
Guys, Katy ISD officials say this all started Friday when a student posted photos onto social media that showed weapons. Now, Katy ISD police say that those weapons actually turned out to be airsoft and pellet guns and that there was no credible threat. But unfortunately, other students, of course, saw that post and began sharing those original images, which just got the rumor mill turning. Now, ultimately, the district did get involved. This is the email that went home late last night to Taylor High families. Again, it stresses that there are no credible threats. We had several parents, as you said, email and call the station overnight with questions regarding that original post from that student and wondering whether or not that student will be here in class today. Now, we did reach out to Katy ISD officials. We haven't heard back yet. But again, let me stress this. Taylor High School's principal did send that email out saying that there is no credible threat and that parents should feel safe sending their students to class today. Guys.
Okay, good to point out, Janelle. Thank you for that. Police arrested 2 local students for threatening a shooting at 2 different schools. We're talking about Hitchcock High School and Stevenson Middle School. Both were caught before anything happened. Both are charged this morning with making terroristic threats. After what happened in Florida recently and other places, this morning we're asking you, have you talked to your kids about school safety recently? Grab your phone, head over to khou.com/vote now, or you can vote this morning on the KHOU News app.
5:03 the time right now, and it is time for your morning rush, which starts with the students who survived the Florida shooting, getting ready to hold a gun control rally at the state capitol in Tallahassee. Last night they came together for a vigil for the 17 victims killed in last week's shooting. We'll check out what happened in Prairie View as trail riders set up camp on their way to Memorial Park. A fire broke out yesterday near a barbecue grill out there. Those flames quickly picking up thanks to windy conditions. Luckily, no one was hurt. Early voting starts today for the March 6th primary. Some big races are on that ballot. Governor Greg Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, and Senator Ted Cruz are all up for re-election. You can find your polling location at KHOU.com. Looking specifically here at the governor's race, a new poll finds Greg Abbott with a big lead for the Republican nomination. Across the aisle, former Dallas County Sheriff Lupe Valdez is leading Democrats by 43%, and that is your morning rush. Russ?
Thanks, Lisa. We have just a heartbreaking reminder this morning about the danger of this flu season. Harris County says that a child has died from the flu, and that's the first time that's happened in the county this season. As Brandy explains, the danger, though, is far from over.
A Harris County child adding to a statistic no one wants to see grow. Now 84 reported pediatric deaths related to the flu. While the virus itself is particularly brutal this year, so are the other conditions it can cause, like sinus infections, ear infections, pneumonia, and heart problems. A lot of folks have asked why this year's flu shot seems so ineffective. Doctors say researchers technically had the right answers when formulating the vaccine, but the virus cheated. In the time it took to make the vaccine, the virus mutated. By then, it was too late to make any changes. Still, doctors say the shot is your best defense against what has been a record-breaking flu season.
This is not an illness that should just be thought of as it's not a big deal.
When we posted this story on our Facebook page, boy, did you guys respond. We had more than 700 shares, more than 100 different comments, and I want to cover a few of those right now. Danielle says the article has zero info, just a fear-mongering headline. We know absolutely nothing about this case. What I wanted to touch on here is that doctors can't release a lot of that information due to federal privacy laws. So we would love to bring you that information, but we just don't have it. They are required to give that information of a death to the CDC. That's why we know that a female child, passed away. But that's all the information we are giving. We're just trying to pass that along. Melissa says, my 5-year-old is the only one in my home that got the flu shot. She's the only one who was done and over with in 2 days. That's another point that doctors make. The vaccine this year may not keep you from getting the flu, but should you get it, the symptoms should be a lot less severe.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind as well. And we still have several weeks of the flu left. It extends into early spring. So if you haven't gotten your flu shot, it takes a couple weeks to become effective. Get it now.
Yep.
And I was surprised to hear that it is pretty effective this year for children younger than 8. So for younger kids, it's working pretty well.
Right.
Depends on the strain you get.
Yeah. Okay.
Very true.
Thanks,
Thank you, Brandy. Coming up in about 10 minutes, could certain medicines make your children sicker as they recover from the flu. Ahead at 5:15, we verify claims you shouldn't be giving them aspirin or Pepto-Bismol. That's coming up after the break.
5:07, good morning to you. We are starting off with a breezy south wind. Southeasterly winds are going to continue throughout the day. Take a look, sustained winds around 22 miles per hour in Sugar Land, 12 in Conroe, 13 at Hobby Airport. Angleton, good morning. You're seeing sustained southeasterly winds around 16 miles per hour. As far as visibility goes, not an issue pretty much anywhere with the exception Darby found on the Fred Hartman Bridge. Fog socked in on the island, so visibility is down to about a mile, but fog won't be the issue for your morning commute this morning. You can see visibility is not an issue in town or north of town, but cloudy skies will be. So a few breaks in the clouds with a little bit of that sunshine here and there throughout the day today before some heavy rain starts to move in tomorrow. So today, about 40% chance of an isolated shower. Notice how I have that when you're picking up the kids later today from school, making those afternoon, early evening errands. But after about 8 o'clock this evening, through tomorrow, that's when we could be picking up some very heavy rainfall. 3 o'clock this afternoon, here's that isolated shower. There's that 40% chance, but notice the real line of some of those strong storms still out west. Overnight tonight, cloudy skies will continue tomorrow morning. Waking up early, if you're a really early riser, 3, 4, 5 a.m., the chance for a few scattered showers, but I think between about 6 to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, that's when some of these really strong storms will start to roll through. That squall line will push through. We could be looking at some damaging winds, the potential for hail, and quick heavy rainfall rates between about 1 to 3 inches of rain, not out of the question. We'll continue to see lingering showers throughout the afternoon and evening, and even for your Thursday. So tomorrow, rain gear, Thursday, rain gear, and then we'll finally get a little bit of a break for your Friday. Even though we're tracking a cold front, I'm not expecting a change with our temperatures. Temperatures will stay just about the same here, upper 70s, almost 80 degrees, 80 today, upper 70s tomorrow, similar there for Thursday. So that warm, humid air, yeah, that'll continue. Even though we get a quick switch of our winds out of the north, that'll switch right back by Thursday. So Darby, no big changes with this weather pattern over the next 7 days.